Hello everyone, today we have new video review and this time we will check a fresh release from Eduard. As you can see, that's a limited edition kit which is called as Nasi Vraceji, and it can be translated as Eduard translates it, boys are back, and this one is molded in 72nd scale, and before we have the chance to check 48 scale edition. This time it is a triple combo edition, and before, as far as I remember, it was also triple combo edition. So as you can see, we have slightly changed box art. It's quite heavy box. Here you can see comparison with my hand, and on the side we have all marking options which are included into this kit. So as you can see, there are plenty of them. On the other side we have more of the marking options which are included into this kit, so it's really a lot. Now let's open it. It's a top opening box and we will check what's inside. A main difference of this kit is not only the scale but also how it will be distributed around, because now you can buy it also from the website in some model shops, while 48 scale was available only as a pre-order kit and only from Eduard directly. So here you can see what's inside. All sprues are packed into separate plastic bags. Of course we will check only one set of sprues because they're absolutely identical. For example, I take out those three plastic bags and you can see they contain absolutely the same set of parts, and we're gonna open one of them. Just give me a second. Here we have two frames with different external and internal equipment, and those parts should come handy for fine detailing of your aircraft cockpit, for example. Why? Because on this sprue I can show you that here we have cockpit walls and two versions of the external fuel tanks, some of the dashboards. Actually there are two of them, so we have one with pre-molded dials and one is plain for decals or PE parts application, and also here we have some parts for the pilot seat. Next we have plastic sprue with cockpit walls. Here they are, and here a cockpit should be assembled in the same way as in the bigger model, so we have separate, let's say, sub-assembly which should be inserted between fuselage halves. Here we have separate wheel rims, also separate tires which should be assembled out of two halves, and note the attachment points for the propeller. They are well thought and should be easy to cut through. And now we can move on to the next sprue, and here we have a small problem because all transparent sprues are packed together, as you can see, and you can hear that some parts are broken off. I mean, they are just broken off, they are not broken, and still I would rather recommend to check them before the purchase. So here is the more or less intact frame, and as you can see it's finished in this circular design which is typical for Eduard. Here we have all necessary parts for the canopy and for some external elements, as well as for the target sight in the cockpit, and of course masks are included. I will show them next. Here they are. Masks are packed together with resin parts, so just give me a second. Resin parts include landing gear wheels as well as exhausts. Just give me a second, I'm a bit surprised by the amount of parts. Nevertheless, now everything is fine. So here we have exhausts. As I said, there are three of them, and then we have wheels for landing gear, and as you can see, manufacturer provides both 5-spoke and 4-spoke wheels, but 4-spoke only one pair can be found here. And here are the tail wheels which are molded separately. I can zoom in so that you can see them closer. Here they are. These are typical bracing parts, nothing special in a good sense, I would say. So you just use them on your small Spitfire. Now I'm removing another set of sprues. Just give me a second. Again, they're absolutely identical, so I will show you only one set out of one plastic bag. Okay. Here, as you can guess, we have fuselage parts as well as wing parts, but first I want to show you those two narrow frames which are dedicated to tail wings, wing edges and ailerons. So as you can see, attachment points are well thought, so you just separate those parts, install them right onto the spot, and you're ready to go. Next we have last grey plastic frame. This one is dedicated, as I said, to fuselage halves and wing parts. So here we have two fuselage halves, both are designed together with tail segment. Here we have wing parts, two top wing parts and one bottom. Note that here we will have to assemble separate wheel wells, air intakes, ailerons, and the same can be said about top cowling part. Don't forget that you can buy a separate bracing part, which is a one-piece part, if you don't want to waste your time while trying to avoid gaps between those two halves. And of course, inside the fuselage we have minor cockpit detailing, because as I said, cockpit will have to be assembled separately and just inserted between those two halves. Then we have book. Book is dedicated to check pilots on Spitfire, and that's already the second let's say publication. So here we have more information about different aircrafts and some corrections, and here on the back side you can see some of the examples of those photos and text. It is written in Czech language, so either you will have to use translator or just to look at the pictures. Next we have that's marking guide, which is printed in form of this separate brochure. As you can see here we have all markings displayed with form of those nice guides printed in color. Of course, paint numbers are given in Gunze designations. And on the back side, no, not here, on the assembly manual we have stencil and position guide, and as you can see this manual is quite thin. Here we have just assembly instructions. So here is a parts map, here is the assembly process itself, and note that for each marking you have clear notes on what you will have to do and how you will have to modify your model in order to achieve a precise appearance as on the real aircraft. Then we have a special envelope which is printed for this occasion. It's quite a nice bonus, I would say. Next we have 3 PE threads. They are pre-painted ones. I will show you only one, of course. Just give me a second. Here it is. This one is a typical Eduard product. Of course, all those pre-painted parts will go into the cockpit, and some of those will be used for the air intakes, for example here, or for some cockpit elements like cockpit walls. But still, it is nice to have such bonus inside, and I think modelers will appreciate it. Then we have mask sheet. Here we have all necessary masks for transparent elements and wheels, because bracing wheels are molded as one-piece parts, as you remember. And last but not the least is plastic bag with decal sheets. I'll zoom out a bit so that you can see. Here we have several decal sheets. Just give me a second to open them and we will check them closer. Actually, that will be a bit tricky to remove them all. Okay, so first we have stencils, which are printed in Eduard. Here they are. Quite nice printing quality, and they should be easy to apply, but be careful with thin lines. Maybe it is easier to just paint them with help of masks, because otherwise it is easy to tear them down. Then here we have first decal sheet, which is printed in cartograph. Here it is written, and here we have all necessary symbols for several marking options. As we can see, quite nice segmentation is applied, so you won't have to cut through the whole decal sheet. And here is the main one, let's say, which carries all necessary symbols and insignia for all marking options which are featured in this kit. We even have here decals for the dashboard if you don't want to use PE thread in your model. So that's all for this video review. I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, for detailed photos, just go in the video description below. There should be a link for the review article. And if you want to help us, if you would like to see more video reviews like this, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I will see you in the next video review as usual. Bye.